Well, the festive season is often a time when many people spend a lot of money on gifts, food, gatherings and travel. Well, many employees also receive their salaries earlier than usual, which then leads to what many of us know as Januworry, that time when we're all broke at the beginning of the year and January feels like it's 6 months long. Well, consumer journalist Wendy Knowler is with us tonight to talk more about how we can better survive, Wendy, if we can, this time of year. Let's start with our worst habits in December.
Okay. Worst habits, I think around, well, let's talk about Christmas presents, because that's what a lot of us are doing. We're buying for our loved ones, we're buying for our children, and that creates some issues with our right of return, right? So people assume that if the recipient of their gift doesn't like what they've given them, that they could just go and get a refund, because they'll ask the shop, can they bring it back? And they'll say yes. And you're thinking, oh, they can get a refund if that's what they want. And no, if there's nothing wrong with something you bought in a store, the only time you can take it back for a refund is if there's something wrong with it, you basically stuck with it unless there's a voluntary remedy situation that the store itself has chosen to implement. It's totally at their discretion, and it's not as good as the 6 months warranty you get from the CPA, the Consumer Protection Act, if something actually breaks. So the thing is to find out and actually tell the person you're giving the gift to what the take back policy is. If it's called a change of heart. So in other words, get a gift receipt or tell them you've only got 30 days to take it back, and actually I bought this a month ago, so maybe you don't have that 30 days left. And that's a big problem to Makili, of people who are very organized, right? Say you buy someone a high-ticket item in September, and by the time they open it, they've only got 3 months left of that CPA warranty. So if something goes wrong, best it goes wrong before March, because otherwise, they're not going to have any recourse. And the other thing is a bit of a tip. It might be too late for some that have already flown, but don't put your Christmas gifts, if you're spending Christmas elsewhere, don't put your gifts in your luggage. You're checking in, because the pilferers in the baggage handling system are very wise to that, and there's a very high chance of pilferage. So keep them, with you in your cabin baggage. And for next year, good tip is, if you're buying online, get the online company to send the gifts to where you're going to be for Christmas, to that address, and get those people to not take an early peek. What is the other thing I wanted to say? Yes, I definitely keep receipts. If you don't give a gift receipt, somehow keep the receipts, so that if somebody, whether there's something wrong with it or not, if they want to take it back, they're not going to get anywhere without that receipt.
And do you find, Wendy, that we're more likely, if you will, at this time of year to actually neglect to read the fine print, especially around how things should be returned, whether you can at all, and even things such as a warranty?
Absolutely. And I think, Makili, I'm going to focus mainly on online shopping. More and more of us are doing that. And I think people just put most of the attention, if not all the attention, on the product itself, the lovely pictures, what it's costing, what the delivery fee will be, and what the delivery window is. Is it 3 to 5 days? Is it 5 to 10 days? Is it going to arrive in time? Instead of looking beyond at the most important thing, especially if you've never dealt with this retailer, and even if you have, because things change, right? We've had, issues at the ports and whatever. So look at recent reviews on Hello Peter, Google, wherever you go, and look for contact details. So assume that you're going to need to get hold of them. Can you get them by phone? If there's no phone number, move on. That's illegal, actually, in terms of the Electronic Communications and Transactions Act, which govern online sales. So no phone number, move on. Often they don't even have an email address. They'll have one of those web forms, so you've got no idea how to get hold of them. So things like that, and check the reviews first. So yeah, and a lot of people are buying stuff off Facebook ads. Oh, yeah, no, problem.
Is that a no-go?
Well, not in every case, but it's a no-go if you don't do very strenuous checks. Check out the reviews. Don't check out reviews on their Facebook page, because they can just get rid of the bad ones, right? And they do. So go onto neutral sites, and check for all those details. If there isn't a physical address, and no, don't go there. If there is a physical address, go into Google Maps. We can use technology just like the crooks do. Go onto Google Maps, have a look, is see if the address checks out. If it doesn't check out, obviously that's a problem. Check out when they're delivering stuff. I mean, I get complaints all the time. Just this morning, somebody ordered some veldschoons, 2nd of December, and they were told 3 to 5 days. Now we're sitting how many days before Christmas? 2 working days before, and no sign of them, and they're just saying, oh, sorry, there have been delays. And if you look at the reviews on Hello Peters, that's what people have been saying lately. So she didn't do her homework. I'm not victim blaming here, but I'm just saying we need to up our game as consumers. We need to be suspicious, and be suspicious until your own checks prove otherwise, especially if you're buying goods at Christmas time. Otherwise, you're just going to disappoint yourself and the people that are expecting to get gifts from you.
And Wendy, how much of what we're told is on special is actually a good deal? Because there's a lot of that at the moment when you go to the malls where everything is seemingly on sale, but a bit like South Africa's version of Black Friday, those who study the trends are starting to question how real that is.
Yeah, exactly. So there's a lot of price manipulation. I've checked out some of these things, and when I say, well, it's 40% off that price. When was this ever sold at that price? Please pull your records. No, we never actually sold at that price, but that's the recommended retail price from the supplier. So what they take it to mean and what consumers take it, that's 40% saving, whatever, to mean are not the same thing in most cases. So I think that the trick is to kind of be organized. You might don't buy the stuff too early so that warranty period goes out of the window shortly before or after Christmas Day. But do your price check. So know from the fourth quarter, or even earlier, what you're going to buy, track its normal prices. And then when someone's saying this is a special, whether it's just a marketing lure to get you there or whether it is a genuine bargain special, call it what you want.
Wendy Knowler, one last thing. Our salaries, we get paid earlier than usual. A lot of people would have been paid, on the 20th? Perhaps tomorrow, the 22nd, is the latest that some will receive their salaries if their employers do indeed move payday forward. Is that a good or a bad thing?
Tricky one, this. Depends how disciplined you are with your money.
I'm not.
It's a good thing because...
Can I just declare I'm not?
I've had to walk my talk over the 25 years I've been doing this job. I've learned from people who've made mistakes, but yeah. So it's done because you need to, Christmas Day is on the 25th, holidays begin earlier. That's when we need our money. But if you're not disciplined enough to leave money to cover your January rent, your bond, your car installment, your child's school needs and all the rest, that's going to get you into a whole lot of trouble. So for those who are disciplined, yeah, it can work, and obviously you need to get the money earlier. For those who just hit the December vibes as soon as the money lands, and some got their money on the 14th to be clear because of the 15th holiday, then I predict a really, really bleak January. It happens every year. It's why so many of the credit providers hups their money early, some as early as the 14th this month, which gets up the noses of a lot of people, obviously, especially those that haven't been paid early. But they know that's just human nature. A certain percentage, and quite a large one, are just not going to prepare for January, and that's going to not turn out for the creditors and for us, the consumers, with interest charges and bad credit records and all the rest.
The other big question for many people, especially if you're a parent or guardian, is what to do about school fees and stationery. It's getting more expensive every year. Is it best to pay what you can right now or wait for January?
I'd say the earlier you can pay, the better. That that money then is not going to be used on December things. What I always say, and it's too late for this year, but make a note for next year, is lay-by is such a consumer-friendly way to buy, right? So lay-by stuff, you're not going to miss it that you don't get it straight away if you don't need it then. So lay-by get the stationery list. The schools know what they are long in advance. Get them in say, October, September, 3 months. It's paid off by the time January comes. If you haven't paid any interest, you don't need it earlier than that. And make that lay-by work for you. All the big suppliers are doing it now. And so, yeah, I think it's a really good piece of advice when it comes to school stuff. If you can lay-by in advance and have it paid off by the time the new school year starts.
Wendy Knowler, always good to speak to you. Thank you so much.